What we need is not more medication, but more education, because the best prescription is knowledge. This is Exposé coming to you live from Lagos, Nigeria, every Monday on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook simultaneously. I'm the regular host, Tony Akinyemi. Don't forget, what we need is not more medication, but more education, because the best prescription is knowledge.
Hello everyone, good evening right here in Nigeria, and you're welcome to this episode of Exposé with Tony Akinyemi. Tonight I am your host. My name is David Akinsola. With me here for this episode of Exposé with Tony Akinyemi is an absolutely delectable Amazon woman whom I won't say so much about right now, but I will just give her the floor to do a bit of introduction of herself.
Good evening. My name is Olanike. I like to say I'm the daughter of Esodina. What do I want to say about myself? I am one person who God has graced. I was privileged to have met Reverend Tony, and that changed the course of my life. So currently, I am a naturopath. I run a wellness center. I am a mother of 3 lovely daughters, and that's about it.
Okay, so quickly, I just want to know, how did you come in contact with Reverend Tony Akinyemi?
Okay, that's $1 million question. Yeah. Reverend Tony came to my church, I think in 2002, to teach on health. And I remember sitting at the back and laughing. I was wondering, what is he saying? That was my first encounter with him, and that was the first time I was hearing the things he was saying. They seemed out of this world. Fast forward to 2012, my husband fell sick, and it looked hopeless. We had gone round and round, several hospitals, several specialists, and they didn't even have a diagnosis for us. They kept posting me and saying, we'll get to the bottom of it. And we kept running tests and tests and tests. And then my then pastor, the pastor who was the pastor in my church in 2002, just said to me, go and see Tony now. And I'm like, for what? He's a pastor. Okay, let him pray. He now said, no, he helps people get well. I'm like, okay. Is it those things he said that time? My pastor said, go. Desperate times call for desperate measures. So we landed in front of Reverend Tony's seat. He was magnanimous to see us on a day he wasn't supposed to be working. And that's just about how I met him. I mean, physically, and that's how this journey started.
So it was on the basis of your husband's health?
Yes.
That you came in contact.
My husband was terribly sick, and we couldn't get a diagnosis. We weren't sure what it was.
So when you met with Reverend Tony Akinyemi concerning your husband's health, what did he tell you to do? Was it just the prayer? Because you painted the fact that he is actually a pastor. Was it just the prayer, or was he able to guide you through the phase, the sickness, and everything that went on?
I want to say with all sense of responsibility, if I had not met Reverend Tony, I would probably be incapacitated or dead. I came to see him because of my husband, and he told me a few things to do: diet, lifestyle, supplements. Some of them seemed impossible. They seemed so difficult. But because the hospitals weren't doing anything, and my husband was deteriorating per minute, in fact, per second, I just felt, okay, I don't have much to lose. Basically, he placed us on a diet of vegetables, juices, salads. He asked me to take out processed foods completely. And I remember him saying to me, it may be difficult for him if you are giving him salad and you are eating pounded yam. So please join him. So I had to be a part of it. We would have juices. He was to have 6 to 8 bottles, 35 cl bottles of juice. He gave me specifics, calibrations and everything. Reverend Tony is thorough. I'm sure you know that.
Yes,
So we started out, and in a few weeks, my husband got better. But he got better. He got strong enough to walk around. We had a 1-year-old child. He got strong enough to carry that child. Wow. So the next hospital round, he was carrying the child, and we walked into the hospital. And the doctor said, "You are stressing him." And, you know, that's how the thing went. Of course, he prayed. Okay. I was coming with an intention that he was going to pray, but he did a lot more than praying.
Okay. All right. So there's a particular point that you made that I'm going to be picking on right now. And it's the fact that he encouraged you to join your husband in the diet, which I think it's very, very thoughtful in that it helps your husband. But along the way, how did you find that diet yourself after you incorporated it into your own diet? Was it something easy to do? Was it something you look back and you say, I'm grateful I joined in that diet?
Okay, David, I must say that I am grateful I joined that diet. Before my husband fell sick, I had a diagnosis of arthritis that I was battling with myself. I was on painkillers and steroids and all of that. And my doctors were already telling me to plan for a replacement, a hip replacement surgery, which between my husband and I, we knew we couldn't afford. So when his issue came up and Reverend asked me to join him, I didn't find it too difficult because I came from a family where my father would slice tomatoes in the morning. And then you needed a snack, somebody tells you, go and get mango from the tree. So it wasn't too difficult for me. And I've never been a foodie, so don't eat amala didn't mean too much to me at that time. But I realized that the journey between the time we started the diet and the time my husband eventually, unfortunately, died was about 3 months.
Okay.
And in the 3 months, I got well enough to put on shoes, standard shoes. As at the time he fell sick, I had to be on flats. And in 3 months, he took some, I took the most. Once the carrot had particles, he would say, and then I'll swallow it. Once the salad didn't have cream, he would squeeze his face, and I would just give him a bit, feed him a bit, and eat the rest, kind of thing. So I got better. My hips, my knees stopped paining me. I actually went off pain relievers completely. Wow. And I look back now, since that 2012, I have not taken as much as any NSAID, not one, in the last 11 years. Because I decided to follow through. Because when I got better, it just made sense to go on.
To go on, yeah.
It just made sense to go on.
Yeah, it did. Sorry, you mentioned the term NS.
Yes, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs.
Okay. It's usually used for
ibuprofen and all of that, used for
pains.
Relief.
Okay, thank you for clarifying that. Yeah, I mean, that story is so interesting and mind-boggling in that the intention wasn't to reverse your arthritis.
No, I wasn't thinking about myself.
But still, it worked for you.
Yes.
Reminds me a lot about the 30-day challenge. I mean, things that you didn't know existed.
Yeah.
By the 30-day challenge, just participating in it, you begin to see improvements in your health, things that you might not even... I don't know if you can just throw more light on that 30-day challenge. Maybe someone out there would really benefit a lot from that.
Reverend teaches us in Rafa Institute of Healthy Living that the cells can be renewed. And within 30 days, certain cells that were sickly have been replaced completely. So your body generally should be better. You may not have gotten to the end of the healing that you're looking at, but you would feel better.
You feel better.
So in 30 days, you're supposed to take away artificial foods, processed foods, packaged foods, chemicals, anger, any lifestyle that will not make you healthy, sedentary living, stress, and all of that. And you're supposed to incorporate into your diet and lifestyle things and foods that help you get better. Fruits, vegetable juices, water, exercise, rests. It's a whole package. I look at 30-day challenge. Reverend actually gave us scriptures to read.
Yes.
So
For those 30 days.
For those 30 days, you're supposed to take time to pray, depend on God, and all of that. And I have placed people on that challenge over and over and over. I always get the same result. You will get better.
Wow.
You will get better.
We'll still go into something you mentioned now about placing people. So we'll get into what you do now, but not for now. But before we move to the next thing, I want to ask a very sincere question.
Okay.
And that is the fact that why do people see health-promoting food as food to heal a disease rather than food that we are supposed to, like, it's supposed to be the norm, the way of eating? I don't know if you get that question.
I do get your question. You hear people say, since I fell sick, I've started taking garlic and ginger.
Something like that, yes.
And once the pain gets better, they stop. I think it comes with a mindset. I think it comes with when you are well, when you haven't lost your health, you really don't know the value of it. You get up and you are up and about. Fortunately or unfortunately, in quotes, the body is very forgiving. The body won't break down until it can't handle the onslaught again. Yeah. So you find us, I was like that too, continuously abusing the body, doing things because sometimes it's because you want to feel among, very many times because you want to enjoy the taste of what you're eating. And then sometimes it's just because that's what you think is available. Some people say for funding too. Some people say it's expensive to do some other things. I always question the funding because an apple is 200 naira, a loaf of bread is 1,000 naira.
Over 1,000 these days.
So for me, it's a mindset thing.
Yeah.
And because it's a mindset thing, I always want to encourage people to work on their mindset. Look back at the way our parents fed us. Look back at the things that was done 40, 50 years ago, and look at the way diseases and sicknesses were at that time.
Yeah.
I'm not sure there were a number of cancer cases at that time.
Yes,
I don't think diabetes was common at that time. So why don't we go back to that way of living? Making that our norm. And then all these indulgences in carbonated drinks, MSG and stuff like that, make it a cheat, an occasional thing. I remember growing up, a bottle of carbonated drink would come to you on Christmas. Just that.
Yeah.
Or if for whatever reason you had to take chloroquine because it was very, very bitter. My mother would put the carbonated drink on the table to say, when you finish taking your drugs, you can have this. So
as an incentive,
you take something sweet. But now, a 6-month-old child, you see the mother putting carbonated drinks in their bottle and they drink a whole bottle, they drink 2 bottles. It's really sad. It's really disheartening. So we need to go back to our thinking and change our mindset. Food is meant to give life and retain life primarily. Pleasure is secondary.
Okay. Thank you so much for training light on that. I also speak with a lot of youths, my peers, and they, after talking a lot, after giving them constructive arguments as to why they need to start paying attention to their diet, they throw up this defensive approach. And they say things like, something must kill a man.
Youth talk like that?
Youth talk like that. They say something must kill a man, that I have to enjoy my life now.
Oh, I hear that from 70, 80-year-olds.
Oh, really? Youth do talk that way. And I'm like, whatever you sow now, you will reap in future. Your body might cope right now, but I tell you, your body won't cope forever. You need to pay attention. So I mean, that's
that's
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Because as a young person, you have, and stop calling yourself youth, David.
okay.
You have your whole life ahead of you. How can you call yourself youth? Let's go into that one now.
Okay.
You have your whole life ahead of you, really.
Okay.
Why do you want to mar it with sicknesses? By the time you are 40, you're already sick. I think we have associated 40, 50 to mean you must have diabetes or have arthritis or have high blood pressure or even cancer. I think the youth, the younger people should understand that youth is not for life. You're not going to remain young forever. And whatever you do now is you are sowing for the future. You are banking up something for yourself in the future. Now, when we put all of that into perspective, it makes sense to want to live healthier for longer. Now, this is not about dying for me. When you say something will kill him, and definitely there are people who just walk out on the roads and they are run over. So for me, it's not about dying. It's much more about not being incapacitated, not being sick, not needing special care. I've seen 20-year-old cancer patients. I've seen 25-year-old chronic kidney disease patients. That's the prime of their lives. Why are they sick? So for me, it's easier when you are not sick. So when I meet people who talk like that, I tell them, yes, something will kill you, definitely. However, let it not be sickness. I mean, it's better to just sleep.
That's the word.
Let it not be sickness. There's no point.
All right, thank you very much, Ma. We'll be going on a very short break. After we resume, we'll be continuing our discussion with Dr. Olanike Olayeni, and then we'll be looking and focusing more on what she does now and how she's impacting lives now, and how you can also take advantage of what she does now. Thank you. We'll see you shortly.
Meet Emily. She is passionate about living a healthy life, but finds it difficult to access information on health and wellness.
Cancer is survivable.
That is until she discovered the online healthy living training offered by Reverend Tony Akinyemi on lms.rafainstitute.org. The online healthy living training program is a comprehensive interactive course that covers topics such as nutrition, fitness, stress management, and mental health. The course is designed to provide participants with practical tips and strategies to improve their health and well-being. Emily is now equipped with the knowledge and skills she needs to live a healthy life. Join Emily and countless others in living a healthy life by signing up for the online healthy living training program today.
I am one person who God has graced. Currently, I am a naturopath. He just said to me, go and see Tony now. And I'm like, for what? He's a pastor. Okay, let him pray. He now said, no, he helps people get well. The youth, the younger people should understand that youth is not for life. You're not going to remain young forever.
Welcome back from that short break. Before we went on that break, Dr. Olanike mentioned the fact that I shouldn't call myself a youth. I think she's referring to the fact that I'm married. Well, I think I'm still a youth. In fact, I know I'm still a youth.
Oh, okay.
All right. So we actually want to, delve into your personal life, what you're doing, what you're doing now, your profession, how you're impacting lives now. So far, how has the journey been with you personally?
It's been an interesting journey. I've enjoyed every bit of the past 11 years of my life. When I came back with my late husband from India, and I wasn't having pains, the first thing that went through my mind was, it didn't work for him, it worked for me, so I wanted to pursue. So I sought to have a meeting with Reverend Tony, and I told him, I want to be able to help my children not fall sick. That was all that was in my mind, my children, and maybe my extended family. And he taught me what to do, he gave me a blueprint of the 30-day challenge, and asked me to register at Rafa Institute of Healthy Living. So that's how the journey of my past 11 years started. So I went through the training, and that training was mind-blowing. Having read Science Lab Tech, I was in that class and I was being told things I didn't know about biology by an engineer, and I was like, oh, really? Really?
You know, the way Reverend teaches.
Yes.
I once told him that I wish you were my teacher in secondary school.
True.
I would have chosen.
The day he talked about how people get diabetes, and he was talking about the islet of Langerhans.
Yeah.
I remember having studied that in school, but it didn't sink like that
like
in school.
The way he teaches it, yeah.
So having gone through that module 1, module 2, by module 2, I knew that this was beyond my children. Several other people had to hear what I had learnt. So I started asking people to sit down, 2-3 people sometimes, and then I'll talk to them. And then I started going to churches and going to places to talk about what I had learnt. Then I came back to do my module 3. After my module 3, I knew that this was going to be my life.
Wow.
There was no going back to work in the laboratory for me. So I decided to go and take a course in public health. And then I decided to go and take a course in natural medicine, which is basically naturopathy. And that's just how it's been in the last few years. So basically I've been in school all my life for 11 years. And I'm still in school. I currently run a naturopathic clinic, or I call it a wellness center, where we use food to predominantly prevent diseases. And we have a few people, we help them to get well. Of course, because my husband died of cancer, unfortunately my father died of cancer about a year after my husband, I decided to delve into study of prevention and modalities to help cancer patients. So that made me start off a foundation for cancer patients. So basically I run a clinic, but alongside I have a foundation where we help cancer patients. In the clinic we do general naturopathic practice.
Oh, that's so cool. I
Trust me, it's not as cool as it sounds.
Yeah, it's so cool, and I kind of like, I'm motivated by, how powerful you seem to be. Like, in terms of you're running a clinic, you have an NGO, how are you coping?
Powerful.
Yeah, it feels so. That was why, of course, that was why I introduced you as an Amazon woman, a strong woman. Basically, I've always had that conceptual ideas about you, that you're a very strong woman, and it's obvious in the things that you do. Yeah. So, how have you been able to cope with both side by side? How is it going? Where are you drawing the strength from?
Where am I drawing the strength from? That's big.
Yeah, that's the question.
I'm not sure I can absolutely explain. But I can say that my husband was my life. And I watched him die. He died with his head on my laps. I can't forget that. I remember the process from the day he called to say he had a headache. And that was the beginning of that journey. So I remember all those processes, and I tell myself, if people know what I know, they won't have to go through what I went through. That I'm strong, I am not absolutely sure. The clinic, when I see cases, I fall apart. Of course, I won't fall apart in the presence of my patients. I give you hope, I encourage you. But within me, I'm like, why? What's all of these things? It's emotional to see people suffer. But because of what I am able to do by God's grace, I see people get well. And that also gives me courage, gives me the impetus to go on. Why did the foundation start? I was running the clinic and I was seeing a lot of cancer patients and I was getting some very good results. Okay. And I was happy with what I was doing, emotional, but I mean, I was seeing some good results. Of course, some people will die. You know, that side of it is always there. But I saw that a number of people will die of ailments, but my passion is cancer, because they don't know who to go to. They don't know how to manage it, and they don't have finances. Yeah. So that made me start funding one person. But by the time I would fund one person, I dedicated a portion of my profit from the clinic to her therapy. I ran that therapy for 8 months. By 8 months, I knew that I couldn't do it alone. So I reached out to my late husband's friends. Please give me 5,000, please give me 10,000, please. And one of them just said to me, can we do this on a corporate level? Can we make it official so that you can reach more people, so that you can help more people? And that's how the idea of the foundation came up. Okay. So I don't think it's that I'm strong. I think it's that I'm angry and I'm trying to find peace. I think I'll put it like that.
All right, that's good to know. In clear terms, we want to look at the clinic you run. That's Therapy Place.
Therapy Place, yes.
Therapy Place. In clear terms, what are the services you offer in Therapy Place?
Okay, in Therapy Place, we offer several services. We do basic counseling. Okay. We do nutritional medicine, where we guide what you eat, how you eat. We do preventative medicine, where we have outreaches where we teach people not to fall sick. We have the wellness place, where we do massages. We run checks. We're checking to know the state of your health per time, and then we're using that as a basis for guiding your lifestyle and choices. Of course, we run a fitness center too. Because I had arthritis, that became a passion too. Okay. You don't have to be sedentary. Yeah. So we run a fitness, I call it a fitness club, where people just walk in, we jog together, we dance together, then we get you back on your feet. Of course, we have a niche for cancer patients where they come in and take therapies, or we link them to other places for further management. We have a niche for arthritis. We have a niche for hypertension, diabetes, and general medicine. So basically, we do general wellness as a whole.
Okay. So that is on Therapy. Those are the list of services. Very shortly, I would really need you to, you place your contact details for people out there who may want to benefit from these services. But before we go there, I really want you to talk about the foundation you spoke about on cancer. What is the name of this foundation? How can people enroll, people who are struggling with funds and everything? How can they be part of this foundation? How can they be helped, cancer patients? And it would be good if you tell us the name of the foundation.
Okay, the foundation is Tony Olayeni Foundation, named after my late husband, obviously. And we help cancer patients generally. And they can reach us. We're on Instagram as TO_foundation. And we're on Facebook as Tony Olayeni Foundation. They can reach us on my direct line, or there's another line for the foundation. Basically, when people have cancer cases who are indigent, they can walk into the clinic. We have an office for the foundation in the clinic, and there are people who will attend to those requests. We screen. We want to know the stages of the cancer. I like to say that Tony Olayeni Foundation will not take on stage 4 as much as is possible. We've had 1 or 2 success stories with stage 4, but the funding is amazingly huge. So we try not to take on stage 4, except the person can partner with us himself or herself. And then we want to be sure that you've run some tests, you are present in your clinic. From my experience, once people get a diagnosis of cancer, they run away. And then 6 months later, the thing has spread, and then they now run to us. No, I want to see that you are going to clinic, but you just cannot afford payment. Then when we have a team on ground who investigates to be sure that it's not that I just want freebies. And then we don't give people money. We go and pay for your therapies wherever we think we want you to have the therapies. So all you need to do is walk into the clinic or send an email or reach us on Instagram or Facebook, and somebody will attend to you as per Tony Akinyemi Foundation.
Oh, that's wonderful. Is there any way if maybe someone out there is looking to support this foundation, how can they reach out? Can you give us email address, phone number, the physical address of Therapy Place? Very important.
Okay.
Yeah.
Physical address of Therapy Place, 16 African Church Road. It's by College Bus Stop. It's adjacent Fatigold Clinic. Okay. It's written Therapy Place on the wall. Email address, you can reach us on therapyplace@gmail.com. You can reach us on Tony Akinyemi Foundation at gmail.com. Of course, you can reach us for Tony Akinyemi Foundation and Therapy Place on 080-6610-8880. I would likely be the one picking that call myself.
Okay, thank you very much. Do you have closing remarks for our viewers? Anything you would like to leave them with?
Okay, I would like to leave the viewers with something, but I want to say thank you to Reverend Tony for giving me my life back, giving me a new direction to my life. I always want to say that. God bless you, sir. Amen. I know you will watch this. God bless you. Amen. To the viewers, don't lose your health before you find it. It's not worth it, honestly.
Don't lose your health
before you find it. It's better to be safe than to be sorry. The shawarma you won't eat today won't kill you. However, if you fall sick, you won't be able to eat the shawarma. So it just stands to reason that you should keep yourself and learn these things and run with it. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Olanike Olayeni. Thanks for gracing this occasion. We have been thoroughly educated and blessed. Thank you so very much. There you have it, viewers. You've met Dr. Olanike Olayeni. Thank you, everyone, for joining tonight's expose with Tony Akinyemi. We'll see you next week, the same channel and the same time. God bless you.
God bless you.
Meet Emily. She is passionate about living a healthy life, but finds it difficult to access information on health and wellness.
Cancer is survivable.
That is until she discovered the online healthy living training offered by Reverend Tony Akinyemi on lms.rafainstitute.org. The online healthy living training program is a comprehensive interactive course that covers topics such as nutrition, fitness, stress management, and mental health. The course is designed to provide participants with practical tips and strategies to improve their health and well-being. Emily is now equipped with the knowledge and skills she needs to live a healthy life. Join Emily and countless others in living a healthy life by signing up for the online healthy living training program today.